vehicle center, and he is another product example, and to evaluate him, they are Sunil Jose will be contributing.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good afternoon.
DTM Sampath Sowrirajan is moderating a panel discussion today. So it's not a speech, she's a moderator. Now the purpose statement, the purpose of this project is for the member to apply his or her skills as a public speaker and leader to facilitate a panel discussion. The time is 20 to 40 minutes. Yeah, that's the time. Oh, yeah.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters
Good afternoon.
and guests. Today, this is a panel moderation. Panel discussion which will be moderated to each project in level 5 elective project in effective coaching. At first itself, I would like to acknowledge my mentor for this project, Toastmaster Sampath Sowrirajan, for his valuable inputs and discussions. And the timing, I would, at the very beginning, I would say 20 to 40 minutes. I would request the timer to show 30, 35, 40 minutes, the green, amber and red. And for each speaker here, when any question is posed and he responds, 1 minute is the nominal time that is given. So at the end of 1 minute, he will show the red card. So let us try to respect that so that there will be enough opportunity for all the people to talk. I have planned, though it's not very explicitly given, to have 5 minutes at the end for any audience interaction. But I do not know whether the time will be there. Let us see how it is. The project is, as I said, moderate a panel discussion. The title of the project is a very dear subject to all of us in Toastmastering, leadership. So that is the topic I have taken. And leadership is the buzzword. Everybody is talking about leadership nowadays, right? Toastmasters is very commonly heard. We say, we are even addressed letters, dear leaders. Leader letter comes from Toastmasters International. Like this. So leadership is a very central concept in modern life, both in career and elsewhere. So it is a very important aspect. It is one of the two tracks in Toastmastering, leadership and communication tracks, which lead to personality growth and improvement of self-confidence. So panel discussion is not a group discussion where people can talk crisscross. It is not a debate where people try to score points over each other's argument. It is expression of one's opinion on certain questions about related to the topic. Today our panel consists of a slightly different set of people. Normally a panel is made up of experts, so to say. It's very common to have so-called experts, all grey hairs, nodding sagely to each other, yeah, like this. But today I am having a different type of panel. This panel has less than 1 year experience, about 2 years experience, more than 3-4 years experience, and abundant lot of experience in one of them. So we have 4 different persons at different levels of experience. I believe this can bring out a wider spectrum of opinion. So let me introduce the panel. First of the panel is Toastmaster Krishna Kishore. Toastmaster Krishna Kishore is a brilliant young star of Middle. Most of you know him and his exploits here. He is progressing on diverse tracks, diverse fast tracks, very efficiently. The second one is the Toastmaster Surya. Our current VP Education, who is marked with a lot of commitment and extreme enthusiasm. He has taken this year tough role of the VP Education. The third one is Toastmaster Balamurli. Unfortunately, not a regular visitor because of his other commitments. But whenever I have seen him, he is a fine, small gentleman with original thought. His evaluations and other opinion I have really respected. And he makes his mark whatever he does. He goes on as I have seen. The fourth one is my good old friend at DTM, Abraham Zakaria. A long time and tireless Toastmaster. Recently I called him for some other assignment. He was ready. And today he has come here. Thank you, sir. And he has got extensive interest inside and outside Toastmasters. So his time is very valuable. So the timing of the scheme I already explained. 1 minute, please. I have several questions all related to leadership and to a large extent to Toastmasters. So let us start. Let's start from that side, but not every time the same way. Toastmasters, take a show. Are leaders born or made? Quick answer.
Made.
Surya?
Made. I would say both.
Made. So if the Toastmasters, we say where leaders are made, right? Today I am wearing that one. Where leaders are made. The Toastmasters we say. To some extent there is some inborn talent or instinctive talent or talent learned at home at a very young age by observing some seniors. But leadership can be taught. Leaders can be made. That is the very reason why in Toastmasters we have an assembly interaction. But not that everyone will progress to the same extent after the same level of doing. Toastmaster Surya, this question goes first to you. Are Toastmaster meeting roles, because you are the one giving meeting roles to everybody as VP Education, are Toastmaster meeting roles effective as leadership opportunities? What is your experience and opinion?
So, when meeting roles, most of the people know there are 7 roles in a meeting, basically. Tag role and timer operator, grammarian. So, apart from these first 3 roles, timer, operator and grammarian, I would say the other 3 roles which is more important to this meeting in running the show. Taking up this timer, grammarian, operator role will help us in becoming a better speaker. To evaluate ourselves, these are few aspects that would help us in developing our speeches. These are also important aspects which we should look at. And when it comes to this TMOD, G and TT master role, these are all few roles which would help us in organizing things, evaluating people and what is happening around us, and choosing right person for calling out and giving topics, a quick decision making.
What would you say, Bhavan?
Yeah, I think if you look at the Toastmasters roles, obviously there are some roles which are focused on developing your communication skills, trying to become a better grammarian, better communicator, an ability to actually translate the ideas well and send across the points. And there are obviously roles like the TMOD or the GE, which I would say does have leadership, requires leadership qualities, because you have to actually manage the meetings. You have to make sure that the meetings are run smoothly. Okay, you have to moderate the meetings. You have to make sure that the meeting is interesting. At the end of the day, what happens is that the way the TMOD or the GE conducts the meeting is going to bring up the energy or bring down the energy of the entire meeting. So this role is very, very important. Both these roles are very important because you have to make sure that you drive the necessary amount of energy, the necessary amount of enthusiasm in the entire meeting to make it effective. Yeah. So there is a leadership pushing there.
Okay. I shall slightly modify the same question for you. 10 years back and today, the same question, how will you answer? Roles, were they more of a leadership opportunity at that time than today or
Today in Toastmasters we have a lot of leadership opportunities, especially when you think that Tamil Nadu itself is going to be a district. And I was a division governor, it was Kerala and Tamil Nadu was one division. And you can imagine the number of leaders we have created. Actually that's what Toastmasters said, it's a place where leaders are created, the opportunities. So everyone, every Toastmaster should be a leader. Unless he gets a role for that, he cannot be a leader. So if you ask me, then my answer is that today plenty of leaders are there. And proximity, reaching out with the technology and so on, other things, it is easier. So there is potential, there are possibilities for every Toastmaster to become a leader in whatever respect he wants.
Thank you. Actually, you have straight into my next question to some extent. My next question is this. The other side, one is the meeting rules, the other one is the organizational rules in Toastmasters, like club, ExCom, area, division, district, and beyond district also. There are so many roles in club. So my question now is, are TM organizational roles effective as leadership opportunity? Partly he has touched it, but he has maybe compared between before and now. So I would like to ask Toastmaster Malan.
Yeah, I think if you look at, like you said, there's an ExCom, which is there as part of your Toastmasters Club. Then you have your area director or your, all of the roles which are there, which form part of your region, right? So definitely what happens is that as a part of the ExCom team, there is opportunity to develop your leadership skills there, because you have to work with a lot of people, you have to work with a wide range of people, maybe from 18 years to 77 years or 78 years. Okay, so you have to deal with them, you have to extract the best out of them. You need to have a plan of action, you need to have a vision for the club. Let's say if you're president of the club, you need to have a vision for the club and what you're going to actually achieve in the next 6 months, right? It's not just run-of-the-mill kind of a stuff here, right? So there is a lot of opportunity for you to enhance your managerial skills as well as leadership skills and take the club to the next level, right? And as far as the region is concerned, it's much more complicated because you're dealing with a bouquet of clubs out there, right? And you have to ensure that each of the clubs which are part of your thing, they're actually performing, they're actually delivering to what you think. Yeah.
Why did you bring another adjective in here, the word managing? Anyway, I'll move to the next question on the same.
I think I'm taking off his list.
About the organizational roles being effective as leadership opportunity. There are many types of roles. Let us not keep listing them and not telling them. Whether they are really good leadership opportunity. After serving for 6 months, or what really has made a change like this? I want to question.
As Balam rightly said, we get opportunity to work with people with different age group, different experience. This I would take into two different perspectives. One as an entrepreneur, the other one as a corporate employee. We, after taking up these roles, Toastmasters, with basically the ExCom role, I would say, in a point of entrepreneurship, we would gain a lot of knowledge. It will be definitely useful for people who are interested to develop the business over a period of time. But when it comes to an employment in a corporate industry, usage of Toastmasters would be less compared to the other one.
Okay, thank you. Before asking the same question, I would just like to add something. Often it appears that leaders at different levels, like this organizational level, are just doing routine things, doing what they are told, or doing what is expected of them. What is it?
You have to be always good at doing that. What is that? It is a regular process. Until you are winning yourself by doing it repeatedly, you will not have that smooth touch when you go to the larger extent of the people and say that this is my vision towards this. Because until you master whatever you are telling to your people, they will not believe in it. Because as a leader, you need to create that trust for the people that they have to believe in what you are saying. So considering that, I always trust or believe that we have to do it repeatedly to make ourselves better, so that we take the message in the right direction to the people, whomever we are going to work with as a team. So that's what we do.
Thank you. My next question is a five-second question. All of you quickly answer. Name one person whom you have seen grow into a very good leader in Toastmasters. Name one person.
Ashwin Balaji.
Krishna Kishore.
I would say Satish.
Deepak Nayan.
He has gone to the international level. Very good. This question is a little tricky. I will ask Valamudi first. How do you classify opportunities, leadership opportunities in Toastmasters? Classify opportunities, I wouldn't even say leadership. Is it administrative learning, managerial learning, or leadership learning? Quickly give your choice and justify very briefly because this can go very long.
Yeah. I would say that it has got all three facets there. There is definitely the administrative component which is there, which hits you the moment you come to Toastmaster. The fact that you have to take on some administrative aspects, any role which you take, there are some administrative aspects which are there. There are managerial aspects because you have to manage a big team staff. There's a lot of leadership aspects there because obviously, like if you want to take a particular club to the next level, there is leadership expected. You have to give direction, you have to give a vision to the club, you have to make sure that you reach a certain target there. So it depends on how you are able to cross this first two. I would like to answer the question in a very different way. First, what you have to do is that when you pick up a role, you have to first address the administrative part of it. Next, you have to keep the managerial part of it. And then if you have the bandwidth and if you have the ability, which you should try to do and try to make the mind space for it, won't hit the leadership aspect of it. A lot of people obviously get bogged down with administrative as well as managerial itself. So you have to make the effort, you have to make that extra thing to make sure that you made a difference in the 6 months. So that's where the leadership part of it comes in. So that's very important. Otherwise, you run up here you can.
Can you quickly add something to that?
Absolutely, I completely agree to what Valamudi has
That
said.
is very quick.
No. Why? Because you have to, many a times the leaders are coming directly to lead the people without doing the accountability and managerial thing, without being, it complements to the previous question what we did. We do not work on ourselves in areas of strength and weaknesses and directly come start leading the people. That is why Toastmasters always says like servant leadership. You're not going to lead the people directly, rather you're going to solve the problem along with them. You're not going to lead traditional way you come and
Any role you take up within a month, you are very comfortable with that. So what the leader has to do is he has to go out of the comfort zone. So he must expand his comfort zone. In that he can have creativity and a lot of things so that the others will be attracted. And he should enable and empower others to take up the role when he takes up the next
Good point. I will come to this towards the very end. Let's move to the next question. The next question is Surya. It's a little tough question. Think about it. What style of leadership? We talk many styles: autocratic, democratic, consultative, guiding, motivating, so that one, so many. Even in some of the popular products. What was your style, so to say, before? And after 1-2 years in Toastmasters, what is it? Has it changed?
So my style of leadership, I would say, as coaching. Because when I initiated my career into field of HR, I already had some experience before getting into it, basically. So I got good, ample opportunity to learn there because of my senior people who coached me and developed my career. And I personally wanted to give it back to my juniors who were joined in my own organization. After 5 long years, my seniors went out or reached the top level, and I became a senior, and there were few more people under me working under my supervision. I personally would say my style of leadership is into coaching. I would coach people, sit next to them and watch.
Has it changed because of
I
it is
not
always
say
strengthened in the same.
Yeah, it got strengthened, but it is not changed.
I would take this way, like there is a Chinese proverb that says like, you give a man a fish, he will eat that day. If you help man to fish a fish, he will eat for his lifetime. So as a leader, we need to teach the people on what they have to do. So in that regards, I would consider myself as a visionary leader. If I have to be in my comfort zone and do what is best for the team at that moment, I will be able to do that. And also give a larger vision. Like to this date, I never started anything without a goal, end date in mind. So that is what.
Is it your style now?
Absolutely.
Before was it different? Did it change?
No. Not as much.
Can you see?
Yeah, I was more or less autocrat because of my profession and one man show.
Outside home.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, true, you do. Right? Okay. After joining Toastmasters, then I understood the importance of getting along with people, gel with people, and you have to persuade them because they are also volunteers. I am also a volunteer. If I say something strong, you say, I get lost. So I should not get that answer. So I have to tell him in such a way that I should be able to persuade them so that he will accept me. That is the best is our service method. You are a very good, nice boss. Then you put it and you say, whatever I said, you are the way, you are the only person.
Would you like to add something?
Yeah, I think interesting point you made. Most who the victim is in the house. So I would second it there. But okay, let me come.
What was your original state? What is it now?
Okay, so I'm also, I would say that more of visionary or motivational kind of leader who is there. I would say that it's evolved over a period of time. The fact is that how did it evolve? It evolved because of the number of opportunities which was given to me in Toastmasters community, right? I really gained a lot with the kind of inputs which we did. I really gained a lot of inputs there. Each person comes and tells me that, like, Bhargavani, this is something come out well, but this does not come out really well. Okay? So when you really improve that, when you start working on that, the communication part, the way they improve the communication is help my communication also. Because it helped me to actually evolve my communication in a better way when I actually try to motivate people or give them, what is my vision for what I want to do there. So in a way, I mean, very interestingly, I wouldn't say leadership, but I would say the communication skills are very help me to evolve my leadership skills also. That's what I would say.
Thank you. I would ask this also in a short hand. Outside Toastmasters, excepting your office, where have you used the leadership skills you gained? Any place?
Absolutely, sir. Even in the parking lot, we can use this.
Okay.
Right? Because to guide the people in the right way.
Very good.
I've never applied anywhere. It's apart from my job.
The job, of course, is a natural thing.
Yeah, I think in a lot of other forums, for example, in entrepreneurship forums, like he said, in a way, Toastmasters also a little bit of an element of entrepreneurship is there because let's say you start a club, you have to start from the very beginning, right? So I was involved in some startups. So what I learned from the Toastmaster way, okay, I would say about my office, I'm talking about forums where I was working with some startups there, how to evolve a startup, how to build it, the experience I had is real.
You move in a lot of different areas. Where has it helped you?
Chairing meetings, I found it very useful. Because first and foremost, because you are an evaluator, you have the patience to listen to all this. And while listening, you will jot it down. So when you reply, you know some of the points you have to say. And first you start with the good things he said. That very useful. And then he feels that, oh, he is my man. Immediately, it is easier. And even if somebody is very aggressive, you keep the calm. And unless you clap, both hands are used, no sound will come. So he says, allow him to speak. And in no time he'll cool down. Secondly, never touch his ego. He said, you are great, your enthusiasm is great. But sorry, I cannot agree with you. The way you put all this I learned in Toastmasters.
Very good. Next.
I think Sir has actually touched a very sensitive and interesting point which Toastmasters do. Because in Toastmasters, we actually give feedback. We are trying to give feedback in a different way, right? We are not blunt in Toastmasters, right? We have the sandwich method which is there. We talk about a lot of good things which a person has done. Okay, then we insert the ones which they have improved, then we again talk about a lot of things which are good. So this is something, this is a quality it doesn't come naturally to us. Day-to-day working, if you look at it, like we tend to be we feel it's very frank, very blunt, very open, and then what happens is that we step on the toes of somebody else. Okay. So Toastmaster really tells us how we give a feedback. It's something which is very important.
See, there is another area where I have found many people telling me Toastmastering experience helps in dealing with teenage children. Teenage children. Because the way you talk with them, the way you listen to them, the way you try to understand them, and then give your advice, that type of thing. Normally, quickly you retort, they retort, and then it ends up in an ugly scene. So that they say it helps with them.
I just have a contrarian view. That's
Quickly.
yeah, absolutely. Why I'm saying that the contrarian viewers, we are habituated to put everything in a positive perspective, but we will not be able to add a critical layer to it many a times. So that is what I many a times think like I'm backing the critical thinking, because always we are trying to put things in a positive and sandwich it, try to use 5 good sentences, half feedback, so kind of it. So that is my contrarian.
Okay. Now I will ask you another quick question now. Let's move on. Quick question. Who is your leadership idol outside Toastmasters?
Ravi Kumar Mariappa, he is one of them.
Who is that?
He's one of the managers with whom I used to report it.
So Swaminathan, who recruited me in the current organization.
Very good.
I would say, can I take a wide spectrum?
Yeah. Even politics is also not coming.
So, I mean, we are only talking about leadership.
Yes, sir.
Narayana.
Very good. The next question, again, you have to draw the line somewhere. Honestly draw the line and tell me, in today's Chennai Toastmastering scene, is leadership dominating or communication dominating? Where do you draw the line? Quickly. No, you don't have to justify.
Absolutely leadership.
Communication.
In today's situation, what we the aspect is different. Thank you very much. The next question I would. This is slightly difficult. I will start with the serious question. How does one know or decide where to lead, what to do? How does one know or decide where to lead or what to do? In other words, when can one lead or how?
You have parameters, and you have to first, you should understand what is your parameters. Once you know your parameters, then you try to expand the parameters with the consensus of others. So there you are the leadership coming out. You are doing only what is within that, it's the same thing. But you must go out of that with the consensus. Even if some disagreements are there, you try to see that they are agreeable to you with the consensus. They say, I agree to disagree with you, but let's try this. Put it that way. Then only it will come out. The real you will come out.
How do you find where to lead?
Yeah.
We do a lot of things. Some of them you may not use and classify as leadership. So where to lead and what to do?
I think it's very important to see here, because if you look at it, you won't have to worry too much. Anywhere there's a problem, you actually jump into it. The reason why I'm emphasizing on that, very importantly here, is that in my career, I have seen some people who have really gone to the top of, the industry or top of the game, how they actually were really successful. Is the fact that when there was something was really not working, something has gone for a toss. Okay, they jumped into it, they picked it up. In fact, they met failures in the beginning, didn't unfaze them. They went ahead, tried to correct the mistakes there. They kept on learning, they kept on extending their comfort zones, and they turned it around. Okay, so I have found that in organizations, because I work in a lot of multinational banks, I have seen that always people who pick up a problem and try to solve it have better chance of actually enhancing the relationships in the future.
Actually, it's a very good area of leadership, problem solving. Yes, that's it. One of my pet statements is, you cannot lead unless there is a need. You cannot lead unless there is a need. So this is the problem solving area. What is your opinion on the same question?
Out of where to lead,
And what basically, you have to think, I can do some leadership here. I can lead something. How will you find? What will you do?
so out of where to lead, I would say that place where we are supposed to lead that comes by the experience that what is our interest is all about. And when to lead, I would say after gaining some lot of experience and getting recognized among others, and when you have that thought, when others have a thought on us that say this person can do well, and apart from being suggested, people should also support us taking up a leadership.
Probably I would see like wherever there is a problem, there is a need for a leader, but rather you find people already there. So how do you take the leadership? So that is where a real leadership comes from, like how you drive the situation towards the right goal to resolve it. So considering that, we need to be decisive, understanding what is happening there, and you need to start creating small plan and driving the workforce towards that. When you start doing it, you don't need to be a leader at all. The tribe will follow you because you are leading the path rather than asking them to follow you. So the tribe will follow you. That's what I would say. When you start.
Okay, my another question is, you don't have to elaborate or justify your answer. Quickly you can answer. In Toastmasters, who as a leader worked for?
Who as a leader?
Who as a leader worked for? The leader works for somebody, right?
Absolutely.
In Toastmasters, who does he work for?
He worked for the members. Rather, I would say I work for myself because I want to.
See, these are different. You
Yeah.
tell one of
Yeah, I would say I work for myself, sharpen myself, and serve the community so that the new leaders are made.
okay, your answer.
For the members,
Meaning you story.
Can make some part of like it is.
for the members,
For the Toastmasters
I'll
movement.
change the question for you. In a corporate scene, who does a leader work for? Not in Toastmasters.
For the stakeholders,
Who are the stakeholders?
right from the supplier to the investor,
Supplier, shareholder,
shareholder, supplier to the shareholder,
customer,
customer, employee,
Society.
society,
government.
government, all
Normally employee is left out. In most cases, employee is left out. Okay, but the leader works for who? You take the Goldman Sachs story, whom did the leader work for? Not even the shareholder, but the top management pieces. Okay, that's a little jovial. So, main discussion time is over. I would like to wrap up. Very good points, sir. Thank you very much for sharing your opinion. Most of you are very frank and honest. I should acknowledge. You are not dilly-dally, no chance to find the escape route or the middle of the road. That is a very appreciate. I will tell a short story, same connection. In the 1980s, four of us were sitting in a Calcutta five-star hotel. We had just ordered tea and coffee, different things, four of us. The waiter brought it tea. My neighbor took his tea. I said tea, because I saw a drop of tea hanging from the bottom of the cup. But it was too late. He took it to sip and it fell on his lap. Oh, he kept it and took an tissue. His other neighbor on the other side called the waiter and told him off in no uncertain terms. Fourth person sitting there, he called the waiter. He told him, it's not your mistake. You just brought and kept it here. It's not your mistake. This is no serious thing. Can you please bring the floor man? Pick up the floor man. And this man said, there is a paper circle under the cup. You people have glorified the paper circle by plasticizing it and putting a lot of design. So now it is not able to absorb that drop of tea at the bottom. Because of that it was still hanging. So it is a quality problem. The purpose of the paper circle is not fulfilled. It's not fit for the purpose. So you please go to your supplier, change the supplier. Immediately you make some arrangement with tissue paper or something like that, get a new supplier. With that one, the problem will be permanently solved. You explain this to all. Now this man who did it was our chairman and managing director, D.K. Sastyavan, late in Indian. What has he done? We all saw the event, what happened. We reacted differently. But he saw that. He saw there is a problem and a quality problem, and he found the root cause of that quality problem. And he put that waiter at ease. There was no point in this by making him feel bad. And he called the manager also, he talked very nicely, he explained. The manager was very happy, he was going to affect the change. So what did he do? He affected a very important change. So what he has done is, he has seen the opportunity to make that. He has identified. So in all Toastmasters activities, if you see, okay, I am doing our computer today. What is the leadership opportunity here? Means there is nothing. You have to look at it, recognize it, identify it, and then try to solve it. Everyone will find an opportunity to do in so many small different ways. One of my ways of explaining this is a follower or a general employee or a general person, he simply follows instructions. That's what is told. An administrator follows the rule book and the procedures. A manager, he follows the targets and action plans. What does a leader do? Whom does he follow? A leader writes his own job description. A leader writes his own job description. So all of you as future leaders, when you see different aspects of Toastmasters, at that time you have to identify this. And then you think this is a problem or this is a situation, I can improve the situation, I can do this, do that. There is a leadership opportunity. So let me go and solve it. Or let me go and improve the situation. Let me go and train some people. Let me go and motivate the required. All are different leadership aspects. So different opportunities will come. So you have to identify, you have to make your own plan. And nobody is going to tell a true leader what is. If somebody tells a true leader, then there is not leadership. It is something known already. Like if you have done yesterday something, today it is no more leadership. It is just repeating that. So leadership has always got this innovative aspect and novelty aspect. It has to be there. Otherwise, it's all. How many minutes? Okay. Now it is exactly 35 minutes. There is 5 minutes time. Any of you can interact with me or any of the panel by quickly asking some questions or making some observations. Make it very brief.
Mentioned a good point that about when you find a problem, leadership will reveal the talent. How about creating an opportunity? This is just you're seeing a problem and trying to address the problem, pitching and then getting into it. How do we create an opportunity for a leadership?
You mean to say everything is working well, but you still want to create
Yes.
right? See, if everything is working well in an organization, you also have to see whether the organization is going or not. Okay? I would say if it's working smoothly, then you have to see what is the rate at which it's growing. Is it growing at the rate of 5% or whatever it is, right? So then you have to challenge yourself to see whether you can grow further than that, right? When you stretch your target and say like, I have to grow by 10%, then you would have to do some targets or you have to do something different. Opportunities obviously will come there, right? Because you have decided that you want to do something different, you want to do something more. So when these opportunities open up, then you have a chance for people to actually put them there and give them the opportunity to do it. But if you're going in a very comfort kind of a situation and it's going smoothly, then I think there will be a problem.
Actually, DTM Lalita gave that recently in our club when she said, if you think you are good, you are dead. So when everything looks okay, there is still something there. You have not identified. So you have to identify. Any other questions?
Yes.
Sir.
We look at leadership typically like some kind of a ready-made solution. You ask what are the leadership qualities? Vision, courage, empathy, blah, blah, blah. I think leadership is more a function of the job you have and not a ready-made thing. For example, imagine if Winston Churchill and Mother Teresa were to exchange their jobs. What disaster it would that be? I think we must revise this idea. Leadership is with reference to the context, not a ready-made set of qualities. What do you say?
Thank you for the observation. Anybody else?
Can I ask?
No question. You only made an observation.
No, I asked a question.
Yeah,
Okay.
Can you see that?
I think what you said is about the manager, but not the leader. Manager has parameters, he has a structure, he has to follow certain things. But when it comes to leadership, that's why the difference between Mother Teresa and Churchill. The leadership, it is not, if it's a manager, probably same, they would have done the same thing. So the difference is in the function, that is a leader's function is different from manager's function. And manager cannot be a leader, as leader can be a manager.
But I would submit that you look at them both as leaders, not as managers.
Offline, please. Give chance for somebody else. Sorry for interrupting. Anybody else?
So I have a question. So we talk about like jumping to the problem solving, taking it as an opportunity and doing it. So if I'm a leader, but there are multiple, there will be 5 problems going on at the same time. I have a job description to take care of something else, to look at strategy and plan for something in future. So in that case, how do we, if I jump into the problem, solve the problem, there will be other things happening on the other side of it.
Delegation, time management.
Okay, that's what.
Yeah, I think, see, you have to, for example, if you feel that you're running a team, and you probably have 100 members, then you can just assume that, okay. But you have many problems which are there. I think the way you have to address is different. Maybe something BAU is not working there, right? So you have to look at the kind of people who you have actually delegated this stuff. Are they competent to actually handle it? Because end of the day, in that case, you should not be jumping away. You have people there, 5 to 10 people, managers, who are handling that. And if there are fires coming out there, exception handling is fine. Because if you have 5 things to do, you only do exception handling, right? You won't be able to handle everything. So in such a case, it's very, very important, I think, to group the people who handle that. Okay, I would say we all make mistakes. I've seen running teams also, I've seen that you put 5 people, they have a problem in a couple of days, right? We have to see what is the right fit for them and move them. Otherwise, I think it's going to make our life difficult.
We have a lot of problems, right?
Don't discuss.
Yeah,
Yes,
I have, you should, all of us is that it's not our role, we'll try to find another role, we'll maybe put it in another role. Like if you are in a play or drama, you know the dialogue of your others, not your dialogue you might forget it. Similarly, in my organization, there's one carpenter. He knows everything, electrical, everything he knows. One thing is he doesn't know is carpenter. This is what, but he asks him anything, he'll solve it. So there are people, they know all about other
60
things.
seconds more.
Probably you can take it.
If you can take one more query, maximum. Yes. I think we will have it off. It's a usual question, we can answer that. Any other thing related to what we did? Manager gets a fast salary, leader doesn't get